he no still do that thing. He no still demolish the land. Officer on anything.
Wait, now which one come dey prison?
Prison. They mad. Minister of Defence have come out. Then he say Minister of Defence.
No, that man one that they talk about say he won't come out Boko Haram. Now which person dey?
No, now this person. Now they can.
Okay, now this one na Wike.
Now Wike, FCT minister.
No wonder the every for one side they always use the man.
You can see they don't. You know what is it? Don't tell me that. Shut up. They tell one. I swear that guy get more than that guy get. And you know soldiers dey in back. Even though soldiers know they no go fit do that because before your guy send am go do that thing back, your guy know say that guy get moral. You understand? You say that man tell us one other man wey be maybe weak assistant or so. Tell am say you say you I'm just the boy tell the man say you I'm just looking at you. The man say shut up. I will not shut up. You the guy dey tell him. The guy, you cannot do anything. You are too small for me. The boy dey tell the man. My husband.
If they threaten, they put fear for their body.
He say you dey tell the man say you are too small for me. You are too small for me. Before you know, the man won't come say, now your soldier just go push the man. Say you are too small for me. Before you know, you can say, shut up, man, you are a fool. I am not a fool, sir.
Yeah.
You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool. Because I am not a fool, sir. I am an officer of duty. I will deal with you. You see what I'm going to do with you. You say you are not going to do me anything. I laugh. Moral with that guy get there. People support him. Yesterday, chief of army south come outside because wetin people dey expect now, make dem arrest the guy. That is wetin Wike and other useless thief government want make do. Na Minister of Defence come out say, as long as military is concerned, military of defence will continue to protect every officer on duty.
I mean, nearly eating but I never watch am because for even for town once na wetin they use them.
You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. They even point me. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. Shut up. I will not shut up.
One rich man and the son, if you see the son, the son you different. You like the father plan and go collect something for inside. And the boy comes to daddy, present. The father come and say, "You are a fool." And I said, "Daddy, I'm not a fool, sir." And the one that told you look before that everybody stand up. Now I say, these people, bless and so they do for the family. I don't know if they ever was saying that they talk now.
You see this Mumu government, very soon nobody will fear them again. Very soon. For this guy to get moral, a whole FCT minister, that FCT minister just dey like Asiwaju. Even president no get power for that land. President wey you know that, no get power for that land. Now you FCT minister, line chief of army staff commander. As long as defence is concerned, military is concerned, they will continue to protect every officer on duty. The guy say, I am doing my job. I am on duty. It's my job I'm doing. You cannot do me anything. The man they rate, he say, okay, you can. Sir, they want to push out. You are a fool, sir. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool, sir. I am not a fool, sir. They point out.
And
Mora, that guy get
they dey close.
Hey, my guy, Mora die. Mora, Iboku.
Even as some people, one weekend Sunday, they just keep quiet.
That one. You are a fool. He said, I am not a fool, sir. That's what they do. They do face. You are no, they even look me there for face. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. They do. And that guy know the outside guy. He's a Christian. Mora. Everybody hail him. For once, Wike don't see who challenge her. Small boy. The Wike said they're very useless. You pikin where you born, now you go the challenge. As the boy tell you say no, then they on duty. They no go demolish this place. Matured man and who get sense go just tell me people, Oyamoku na turn back. We go resolve am. You understand? He begin challenge small boy. Now the boy disrespect him. If look, you are a fool, sir. I am not. You are very stupid. I am not stupid. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. You are a fool. I am not. The boy dey even go.
Yes, like reach to like that.
Very young boy.
Because
As in very young guy.
it's like and this boy
That guy
don't
never
dey
reach 40 years.
plan for weekend since.
I say Wike don scatter big men houses for inside. See, go inside tell me wetin dey happen. This Wike ba, there was one killer one day.
The house wey dey scatter na for wetin na
You
there.
dey see am now. Say e dey for wrong development. Say if you even get land, you no go build am, him go scatter am. Na wetin be wan do that minister of? That man wey dem wan go demolish him house ba, the man na former chief of defence staff.
Okay, this one wey bring quarrel now.
Yes, the man na former chief of defence staff, and for military, once a general, always a general. So even if you don serve drop, you understand, you no be general again. Your general title still continue. You understand? Na so military do their own. So dem think say because of say the man don comot for service, dem fit dey do anyhow. That boy say na lie o. Na own na play.
I know they talk say e don take wey this boy dey hear about Wike.
You finally see Wike now. It's okay. Today na me. They thank God na me dem send come here. Your body go tell you. Na wetin do Wike. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir.
Oh, that
We command. So this boy, moral with that guy. I laugh. Yesterday still laugh. Na wetin dey trend o. People dey even support the guy. Internet dey catch fire. YouTube.
na who say na TikTok.
Na YouTube. Me I dey YouTube. No say I no dey Facebook. Na YouTube I dey. YouTube dey for fire. All the whole news people wey dey Nigeria, all the whole news vendor, everybody dey carry am. Disgrace himself for where small pikin dey. This weekend na you leave. I post am for WhatsApp. Go check am for my status. You see am go easy for you for there. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. I say you are a fool. Guy, that boy get moral. Moral. Better moral. And your guy go increase in salary as you see am there, because your guy self no expect say the boy go act like that. You understand? Your guy no expect am. Eh? You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. I say you are a fool. You are very stupid. I am not stupid. Guy, for once Wike don see you challenge am. Na him dey deal with people. Now small boy wey you born that boy 2 times. Now he go dey disgrace himself.
And the man children go there enjoy you. They mean when
Say don see am now. Dey watch you go see wetin go happen. You are a fool. I no be fool, sir. The thing dey sweet all these people. Dem dey even happy. Man, you see that man wey dey laugh? Na him happy pass the thing. Rufai na bad newscaster. Him dey challenge government well. This Rufai you dey see. You know say I dey happy. He sweet am, but this do am cool anyway.
Let's begin what's trending. Focusing on reactions trailing the dramatic public confrontation between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and a military personnel on Tuesday. The incident unfolded when soldiers reportedly acting on orders from a former chief of naval staff forcibly removed FCT development control officials who were enforcing a directive to halt the development of a plot of land in Abuja that the minister described as illegal. Let's take a look.
And the boy dey talk. Wike na him be that one wey left out. The boy wey police the soldier uniform.
I said there's no such thing.
The guy ba, him know wetin dey talk. Wike sabi thief people land.
The boy say you have that
So they need police go clear that boy. Police no fit even talk like this. You know no power good at all. Moral. This government, if you fear them, na you go enter one chance.
Him na even police na nine they carry water.
You no even fit carry soldier. You see am. Soldiers no dey do all this corruption something. You understand? We no come from. We don't live for person land. We are from this country. You go look concern about. I don't know who you dey talk. Me, I don tell you. You dey see me. The mumu one go start falling. You are too small for me. You tell the man.
Show me that you are what? First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two, show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It's a way to do it.
See, person go just buy land, another person go come dey clean it. This Nigeria useless.
You must work according to law. You must work according to law.
What dey work? That mumu man now. If they don't tell me I'm lying. Now we cannot be lying.
And you go say I forwarded everything to your the call point game. My man say don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You are lying. You go don't tell me you are lying. Don't tell me.
You are too small for me. It's not professional. I have integrity.
I'm official, sir.
The man say, Rufai, this newscasters na bad people. The things reach them.
We get accused of military of intimidation, insisting that the occupants
You
failed
tell the
to
boy say,
provide valid acquisition documents or
shut up. This is the way I say, shut up. Will you stop that and say, I don't think you should stop that. I'm a man of integrity.
I say that he has a problem. Cannot approach my office.
Now we get the result now.
When I did the interview the wicked they talk say the boy they intimidate them.
To intimidate
Okay.
Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons.
They are very stupid. The thing where you even do for Port Harcourt, they never forgive you. You say Nigerians. Nigerians don't even hate you, sef.
And this man will carry the video account.
But this time around, you no work. You don't see him. He work.
No like to kill and reward you. All these people will say,
One day now said they'll fit kill him. Man tell you. Abacha do wetin pass this one. Now woman na kill Abacha. Woman. All these people they won't kill them na small thing. Now just fear the.
Abacha na wicked person.
Eh? Yeah. Abacha we die. Woman, small girl. And then pay money. The girl come. Going like woman well. Now two woman even this week already see.
Enrique has said that he had contacted the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Naval Staff, both of whom assured him the matter will be resolved. I mean, reactions have trilled. Ayo, the naval officer who actually called.
Yeah?
Whatever they can. You are a fool. I am not a fool, sir. To come at you. But Peter, that guy get moral. Anyway, he's doing his job. You see come at you.
actually called these military personnel to get rid of these people that were developing the land.
Yes, Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo retired.
He's retired.
He was
level
former
of-
chief of naval staff. I think he served 2 years ago.
So
He's not tired.
He's retired, but not tired. But you heard the officer there saying that he's not retired. Once a naval officer becomes
So we can use the word ex-air vice president. So you can use retired.
You can use retired, but I can't say former.
Yes,
Okay,
former.
all right. So we're unraveling so many
Educated.
things. Yes.
Educated.
Let's take some reactions because reactions are trailed. This person wrote on X. Classic case of he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. We get things say Nafubara. Anyways, power isn't loud. Wike is not used to getting a no. That's why he thinks he could intimidate an officer that probably already had him in mind. These are soldiers. He could have just spoken to his superior instead of trying to intimidate or even use foul language. Now he ended up embarrassing himself. Now I got this comment on WhatsApp, and this person wrote, "What does the law say?" This is VK versus Nigeria naval officer. "We may be happy that VK met his match today. We may even say them serve the food of intimidation where himself they serve others. But regardless of our personal opinion, the law is not emotional and will never be. Under the law, a military officer does not have the right to intervene in land dispute matters, talk less of stopping a minister from inspecting a land. Under the Land Use Act, the land ownership belongs to the governor of the state, of which Wike is equivalent to in the FCT. Land disputes are civil cases, and even the police doesn't have the right to intervene until there is a crime, like fighting. The basic responsibility of the Nigerian military is to defend Nigeria from external aggression, maintain the territorial integrity and secure the borders, suppress insurrection, and act in aid of civil authorities to restore order under specific conditions and presidential directive only. Any attempt by a military officer like what we saw today to assert jurisdiction or forcibly intervene in a non-military land dispute is unlawful and an abuse of power. That military officer and whoever sent them on that mission needs to face punishment for acting outside their legal jurisdiction. It is an insult to our democratic ruling to have military officers sent to protect ordinary land. A civil case for that matter. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Rufa is already screaming, I disagree. Okay, so I'll come to you, but before I come to you, let me take a statement as well. The former Chief of Army Staff, Toko Buratai, has condemned Wike's confrontation with the soldier, describing it as a threat to national security that demands an immediate apology. In a strongly worded release, the former army chief said Wike's public disparagement of a uniformed officer transcends mere misconduct and represents a probable threat to institutional integrity. Well, let's take that statement right now. Can we pull up that statement? It says, a minister's verbal assault on a military officer in uniform is an act of profound indiscipline that strikes at the core of our nation's command and control structure. It deliberately undermines the chain of command, disrespects the authority of the commander-in-chief, and grievously wounds the morale of every individual who serves under the Nigerian flag. Buratai argued that such actions erode the foundation of discipline upon which Nigeria's national security apparatus stands. He dismissed suggestions that the incident was political theater, calling it instead a reckless endangerment of national order and a clear indication of undermining the federal government's authority. The former army chief demanded that BK immediately issue an apology to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as commander-in-chief of the armed forces and to the officer whose honor was violated. He insisted that the nation's security must come first and called for decisive action rather than politics of military bashing. I mean, we've gotten two different reports to balance this story. But this prioritized intervention adds another significant military voice to the growing controversy surrounding Wiki's confrontation with the soldiers. Your thoughts before we take more reactions?
In the words of Yusuf Wiki, if he didn't day, he didn't day. He never. Why I disagree with that first message you read is the fact that, do you know that the FCDA had sent security personnel to go harass the engineer working on the site before? It was in reaction to that the army now sent people there. So that analogy was wrong. The FCDA at first used force. And it's in reaction to that, they brought another level of force. So you can say, oh, violation of laws and everything. But it is in reaction to that. So both of them, on that score, they're wrong. The second score that is wrong, please, with due respect, how many court orders has Wiki himself respected of people that he goes ahead, that they have a court paper, and they have an initial agreement, he turn their pack around and take it? Did we talk about the story of those two young girls here? Did I challenge the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Fallon, about it? How many has he respected? See, let's not deceive ourselves. Wiki has acted like a god over the land in Abuja, and he forgets. They are not going to be FCT minister forever. Before you ever find it in his own, he still left at the end.
Borrow 10,000 naira, repay 12,000 naira. Borrow 50,000.
You ever find it in his own, he still left at the end. Why you? Please, gently. Do it
As well.
Do it slowly.
All right.
The third point is, you now got there. You claim that you have called before. You have called the man superior. Why was that a show? It's because you wanted to intimidate him. But the man refused to be cowed. Yerima refused to be cowed. And please, those that try to skew narrative, Yerima didn't insult the minister.
All right.
All he said is, how can you call somebody a fool and expect him not to talk? The next thing, you are a boy. Just like one minister was calling me a boy, the other a small boy. The next thing, I was already after I finished school before. Is that the bone of contention?
All right.
Please, like I said, the Adiza Bala Usman's index should be released to the public so that we will have a ministerial code and screening.
All right.
You can't have all sorts of things happen like this now.
You have more opportunity to speak. Let's take some more reactions. This is from Characteristics, who wrote, unfortunately, this incident reflects a broader pattern where some retired or serving military officers attempt to use armed personnel to intimidate civilian authorities or protect questionable private interests. Such behavior undermines the rule of law, erodes public trust in the armed forces, and weakens Nigeria's democratic institutions. The president, as commander-in-chief, must call the military hierarchy to order. The military must reaffirm its constitutional duty to remain subordinate to civil authority and ensure that no officer, serving or retired, uses the uniform to pursue private gain. The Nigerian armed forces have a proud history of discipline and service to the nation. That discipline must extend to respecting the boundaries of lawful deployment and upholding the supremacy of civilian authority. Events in the FCT should serve as a wake-up call for renewed civil military education and strict accountability within the rank. Well, I am fine. Come to you. We got reports alleging that that disputed 30-hectare plot of land in Gadwa district was originally allocated to serving and retired military officers, but was later revoked by VK. That report has been making the rounds on social media. The report also alleged that the land was reallocated to VK's political associates and that the revocation and redistribution were carried out in total disregard of due process, official recommendations, and existing approvals. Well, according to a 2022 letter from the FCTA Parks and Recreation Department, the land was originally designated as a green area for park development and was subdivided by various organizations, including Santos Estates Limited and Quira International Ventures. An approval was reportedly sought since 2014, but ignored despite memos recommending it. The FCT minister was said to have changed the land use from park to recreation to multi-purpose before issuing fresh rights of occupancy to new beneficiary. We're seeing this sort of, reports, and I must say those documents that were presented right now has not been independently verified by Arise News, but these are the reports that are circulating towards the fact that it's trending. The dispute, Ayo, exposes the complexity of land administration in the FCT, where powerful interests are collide. Wike has built his FCT tenure on aggressive enforcement against illegal development. These new allegations raise questions about transparency in his own reallocation process. Well, a 2022 video showing the moment a chief superintendent of police defied an order from Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to vacate the Magodo Phase 2 estate amid a lingering land dispute has resurfaced online, drawing sharp comparisons.
kind mumu Nigeria be this for God's sake? This our government so useless. See, nothing good wey dem dey talk about that movie. Nothing. Dem no go gree o. No gun to their head, no first correct. This thing dey sweet me if not for anything. Rufai dey happy na lie, no get it right. Eh. The boy dey do him work no. The guy is doing his job. He's doing the right thing. This government ba, I tell you say very soon, very soon, their juju no go work. All this new character, imagine small boy, they say that boy na 26 years. 26 years. And I wicked and fool. I say if you see wetin dem dey use am do, the thing don turn comedy o. Everybody dey curse Wike like say for once Wike don see the challenge am for once. You are a fool. I am not a fool. Shut up, don't tell me to shut up. See small pikin maybe moral.
Now Boki for Christ be that. Now Boki for Christ. The comedian. Aboki for Christ, ba? Check him name now. Which church he dey go? Okay, certain that no. He dey even talk like Aboki for Christ. That one na living faith comedian. Uh, yes, now. I said very soon they no go dey respect this government. They say am. Very soon. Mumu. Only money na im dey put for front dey thief. Now see am na small boy. Oh, every time I come, do all this right. Nobody know. Let's say this government. Laugh for kilos. They hear the thing. The thing there. All these people ba. Hi. When they see this bad thing ba, they fit spread. Somebody don dey there. Tell me na use the phone. Before I know, don post for me. Before I know, the thing don waka.
dey tell you. Useless man. Now we go. I am not a fusa. Don't tell me that. Diego, how are you doing? Sorry, I was busy. Thank you for the word of prayer. Oh. Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir.